Are you ready? I can't believe the story that gets more people upset, and that is eating bugs. This is the story that the other day it was some reference to Klaus Schwab, apparently. Remember Klaus Schwab? You forgot about him. You forgot about him. Come on, you already forgot about him. But Klaus Schwab made some reference to his about eating bugs or bugs. And by the way, believe it or not, in terms of saturated fats, chemicals, vitamins, Mexicans have been eating them for years. I don't think I've ever had bug. Well, I've eaten them in foods that are allowed certain amounts, but I've got no problem with that per se. I'm plant-based for health reasons, and if there's no, saturated fat or anything in there, I think, well, it might qualify. But people went crazy over that. They go crazy. Why? Because we have a third grade mentality. And if it's very simple, we just have these very, very, very simple ways of reacting to things. And there was this, there was a story a while back. You might have seen this. I don't know if you did or not, but maybe you did. And it was about, whenever companies don't know what to do, like, media types, the Post or whatever, they will put together these things that are so ridiculous. And one of them was about the shape and the size and the like of your egesta, your elimination. And it's this thing, what your, and it has the childish name for it, what I guess fecal output means depending upon whatever. And it's the Bristol stool chart, which is from 1997. But because it's just, when you're the Post or something, you say, my husband and I have sex 30 times a day. How do we do? There's these things in there that don't matter. Or how about this? So-and-so rocking it in her bikini. And you ever see this? It's like, why are they rocking it? Because they paid the company, whatever. Anyway. So, when it comes to this, there are these clickbait stories. So, one of them is this idea about, I don't know why, but they have this idea about bugs. And people go crazy about bugs. And I'm not going to eat bugs. What are you, crazy? I'm going to eat meat. You had, how many 18,000 cows? If you don't see something's wrong with that story, I don't want you on my detective squad. If you don't see the story behind that, the 18,000, there's no 18,000 cows. Do you know what's happening here? Is there any part of you that anything, or are you so deadened by fears of being conspiratorial that you just gave up on that? Is that it? You can tell me, it's all right, I don't really care. It's all right to say this. But when it comes to certain things, for example, in your house, I bet you have a smoke detector, don't you? Good for you. How about a carbon monoxide detector? Oh, yeah. Good. What about emergency food? This is where it stops. What? Wait a minute. You got upset about bugs, right? Because your food is so important to you. What happens when there is a food emergency? What do you need to know? What is it? I heard, I didn't watch it, but Tucker, I guess he's the only one theoretically worth watching on Fox. Something about food. I don't really know what it was, but it's about food. What are you doing in the case of a food emergency? Well, right now, more people than you could ever imagine, and I mean this, are using My Patriot Supplies as their, as their go-to. And using this link, this is very, very simple, very, very important, preparewithlionel.com. That's it, preparewithlionel.com. And we're talking about some, and you have to see this, because when I first heard about it, I thought, like most people, think, well, this food stuff is like, well, what is it going to be? Like some army locker or some thing where you got to mix with water? Like imagine some K ration thing with a key or something like that. Is that it? I don't know. What is this stuff? It's incredible. It's incredible. Breakfast, lunches, dinners, snacks, drinks, over 2,000 calories a day. Preparedwithlionel.com. Your kits are shipped fast and free to you, unmarked, so nobody knows what you're doing, because God forbid you don't want to be called a prepper. Why would you prepare? Preparedwithlionel.com. You have no idea. Right now you can save $200 per kit. This is for a 30-day minimum. And again, we talk about food. We go crazy about bugs. By the way, there's no bugs in here. But we talk about bugs. But when it comes to what happens if there's a supply chain? What if there's a problem? What if there's an EMP attack? What if there's a disaster? What if things go wrong? Do you know what would happen to your town if all of a sudden somebody says, hey, there's no food? You went crazy over a toilet paper scare or shortage during COVID when there was no reason for that. You did for toilet paper. What about food? You want to get freaked out? Imagine you've got empty shelves, and then the local vultures, the news vultures, will say, today we're at a this or a Piggly Wiggly or an Acme or a this or a Cash and Carry or a Sam's Club or whatever, and it's empty. And the cars and the honking, and you'll interview these people. We've been here for 12 hours. We don't got nothing. Oh, and the panic, and they're going to go crazy. Watch what happens. That's what will happen. It'll be this run, and then stores will close out of fear from people who went crazy over the toilet paper, but now it's food. And then you're going to say to yourself, I should have done something about this. That Lionel, I could have gone to Prepare with Lionel before and just had it and just not worried about it. Stack them, leave them, that's it. 90 days per person. How much of us? 3 of us in here? Great. 90 days, that'll do it. Plus, look at other water purification. But people don't do that. I don't understand. But they'll talk about bugs. All right. Before I get to the story about Dominion, which is the biggest story, and for reasons you have no idea, you still don't really kind of maybe get the story yet. But I'm going to try my best to try to make you understand it. See if I can do something to make you understand why this is critical. But what's important for you to realize is that there was something yesterday which was so phony baloney, it's not even funny. And I put this, and I want you to go right now. This is on my Lionel Legal link. Have you done that yet? Have you gone to it yet? Have you gone to Lionel Legal? Probably haven't. You know why? Because you're like that. You know what I mean? You're like that. Lionel Legal. Where is it? Here we are. There we go. Right here. And here's the link. Right there. Go to this. Don Jr. I don't know anything about him. I don't know. By the way, insects, crawfish, crayfish, crawdads, lobster, snails, fungus. We eat, mold. We do all this of cheese. That's okay, but not bugs. Anyway, Don Jr. is the antithesis, I believe, in my humble opinion, of Eric. I think of the Trump family, Eric is the smartest. Bar none. Jared is the creepiest. Eric is the smartest. He plays it cool, plays it close to the vest. Very smart. Don Jr. is more theatrical. Don Jr. is more of a work. Don Jr. is, he brings the heat. Oh, he's good. Very smart, but more like that. You know what I mean? Now, in the story that blew my mind, he comes up today and he says, hey, let's back off of this Anheuser-Busch thing. Because that's an iconic group. And by the way, those Anheuser-Busch people, those are really kind of Republicans. And this Brendan Whitworth, whatever his name is, the CEO, he's an ex-Marine and CIA. Whoa. What was that? He was ex-Intel? Yeah. What, are you kidding me? You don't get more inside than that. Oh, now I get it. What do you mean? CIA? Intel, that group? That shadow government? I mean, the CIA and Marine? I mean, do you get this? And this we go crazy over this. We just go nuts. We hear Marine. God bless the Marines, but say, I want to hear more than that. Ex-CIA. Wait a minute. You see the way they act towards CIA? That's the way Russians respond to FSB, what you used to call the KGB. It's out of respect. Say, ooh, that's good. Well, not to you, but to them it is. You see what's going on here? Do you see what's happening? Now listen to me carefully, and this is important to understand this. This is the biggest pile of stuff I've ever heard. Don Jr. wants you to think that all of a sudden, this guy Brendan, he didn't know this. Some lower level exec, he didn't know this. Excuse me, what? Hey, Anheuser-Busch stockholders, you better have a derivative suit. Get rid of this guy because your CEO, the ex-Marine Wunderkind, the CIA star, making what, 12 whatever million a year? You see where these people live? He didn't know about this? Brendan, did you not know about this? Well, I knew about it. Well, tell Don Jr. there. Don Jr. said you didn't know anything about this. But because you and your group donate to, I guess, Republican causes or CPAC or whatever, I don't know, and we're supposed to give you a pass? What? Wait a minute. You didn't know this. You can't admit that. If you say, I'm the CEO, and I didn't know that my company that I run, that I'm responsible for, that I'm the head of, single-handedly took on the biggest PR disaster in the history of modern PR disasters, and he didn't know this? Are you kidding me? You don't expect me to believe that. Come on, man. What are you, nuts? Brendan, you went, well, what are you, clueless? What else don't you know about? Do you know how many times you have to sit there and say, okay, yeah, hello, yeah, Brendan, hi, listen, yeah, this is Jerry in graphics, yeah. Do you know anything about a Dylan Mulvaney? What do you mean? Well, I just got this order. We're going to go hardcore on this transgender woman named Dylan Mulvaney for the Bud Light. Did you know about this? No. Well, we've got studio time, and accounting just called me, and they've just budgeted the time, the writers, the studios, do you know how many intermediate people have to check on? Okay, check. What is this? Who's Dylan Mulvaney? You mean Dylan McDermott? No, that's the actor. Who's Mulvaney? What is this? Is a what? Wait a minute, what? We're doing this? Why are we... Shh, don't tell Brendan. No. Don't tell Brendan. Why? He doesn't know. He doesn't know? He doesn't know? No, he doesn't know this. Are you kidding me? No. He doesn't know this? He doesn't know this. Brendan Whitworth, CEO. I don't know. He offers an apology. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not really an apology. Did you hear this apology? This apology kills me. It says, we never intended to be part of a discussion. We never intended to be part of a discussion that divides people. Are you kidding me? Now, seriously. Do you know what I love? Do you know what I love? Do you know what a man would do? I'm going to use this term. A real man. An adult with guts and backbone. Like your granddad used to be. Like the Marines of yore. You know what a real man would do? A real adult or woman or another. You see, I did it. The buck stops here. I did it. Eisenhower wrote out his statement in case D-Day was a disaster. He said, I did it. I did it. He wrote it out. If we're successful, read this. But if we're not successful, read this. Don't you want somebody to say, I did this. This is my call. So if you got a problem, you leave Dylan Mulvaney out of this and you leave what's her name with the teeth. This woman could eat an apple through a tennis racket. I don't know who this woman is. Forget her. It's me. I did it because I'm a Marine. And I was with the CIA, and I'm an Iron Man, and I'm a tough guy. And you know how little boys are today. It's that Joe Rogan. God bless Joe Rogan, but he's in UFC? Wow. Did you see him kick? Gene LaBelle made Steven Seagal go in his pants. Really? Yeah, he choked him out. Really? Wow. Little boys. And he punched him? Yeah. He's a Marine. He's a SEAL Team 6. Wow. What does he his guns when he shoot guns? Right. How old are you? What is the matter here? So you think this? So let me ask you a question. It's a very simple thing. Very simple question I ask you. What happens if Harley Davidson one day, American made, Harley Davidson, right? I think even their sound is patented or copyrighted, whatever it was. What happens if Harley Davidson decides to say, we want to fund a bunch of John Waters dystopian, drag shows or whatever it is. Let's say we do this. Harley Davidson. Don Jr. going to say, hey, those are good Republicans and they donated to us. So they wrote a check to you? You're going to give them a pass? What if they didn't do this? What if instead of Anheuser-Busch, it's Amstel Light or Heineken or something, and they didn't write you a check? You're going to give a pass? That's an iconic brand. So you can be paid off? So I can pay you off? I can write you a check? Destroy, basically advocate, Don Jr., a lifestyle I don't believe you are for, but because I'm nonetheless, what? Now, how do you explain this to Travis Tritt, that great American, and Kid Rock, your buddy? Was it, whoa, what? Don Jr. said, what? Yeah, kid, tone it down, yeah. Don't you understand? These are Republicans. What? Anheuser-Busch is a bunch of Republicans. So is Whitworth. He's a Marine. Well, say no more. What? Do you understand? So I can write you a check? That's it? That's it. You donate. Donate to us. Go to CPAC. That group of losers. Every year, it's like, oh no. Oh, God. Democrats don't have that. Everybody's a star in the Democratic Party. Everybody. So you think about this. You're missing the point on this. And I'll bet you anything. The president picks up the phone and says, Don, yeah, did you do this without checking with me? Because I don't believe, there's no way President Trump, I don't believe anybody said, listen, I want you to go out and tell him to back off. Don't boycott. Everybody and their mother is united behind something. And for the first time, the Republican Party had something that maybe even remotely looked like a cause that people could say, okay. And what does Don Jr. do? He says, no, don't do that. Wait a minute, what? Don't boycott them. Wait a minute. The only thing we agree on? Yes. Now, I don't know what happened. You think Brendan picked up and said, Don, yeah, listen, Brendan here. The Marine? Yeah. Don, can you help me with this? Yeah. They are busting my C.O. Jones on this one, and I don't know what the hell they're doing. I know I did this, I know. But you don't understand. I got these people breathing down my throat, and I've got Vanguard, and I've got BlackRock. I don't know what the hell to do. But I want somebody to come forward and say, I did this. I okayed this. I wanted this. It's me. Look no further than me. I did this. That's all. I would say, you know what? Good for you. I love people who tell me the truth. It's a different time. Remember New Coke? Remember that? Remember Pepsi Clear? Remember AIDS diet candies? Well, they did that before AIDS, but the thing is, sometimes things just happen. But I'm going to say this and then leave it alone. The only issue that finally coalesced the entire, either conservatives, because Dylan Mulvaney, I'm sorry, is so creepy, so preternaturally creepy. There have been people in the past. There have been people in the past and currently who are transgender, who would say, it's no big deal. Caitlyn Jenner does not make me say, but when you do this, I mean, this is dystopian, scary. Not because she's transgender, but just the look. Finally, everybody's on board. And Don Jr. comes forward and says, whoa, hey, not them. What? You're breaking up the one issue so everybody agrees with. Now, as far as I'm concerned, it is so stupid. I don't care one way or the other. It means nothing to me. I'm just sitting back watching. This is not the stuff that I lose sleep over. Not Dylan Mulvaney, not Bud Light. That ain't it. What's happening with this young man, Teixeira, they're going to Jose Padilla him. Remember him? Of course not. Of course not. What am I talking? You don't know anything about Jose Padilla. Remember him? 2007? He gets out in 3 years. First enemy combatant, born in Brooklyn? What? Forget it. You forgot all about it. I understand that. I understand this. My friend, I want you to listen to me. The Republicans can't even get this right. You were the scion, the dauphin of the titular theoretical 2024 Republican nominee. And the first time everybody is saying, yeah, black, white, the number of gay people, you have no idea how many gay people I know who do not understand transgenderism at all and feel as though they've been left out. For the first time, there's coalition. Again, to me, it's not that important. So what does he do? Tells you stop the boycott. Now another thing, I'm agreeing with Nancy Pelosi on something. Listen to me on this. Dianne Feinstein is gone. She's crackers. She's toast. You know that, and I know, and it's very sad. Okay, but they want her to step down. Step down. Step down. Step down. Gotta step down. You miss, I don't know how many. Step down. But if you're John Fetterman, no problem. If you're Mitch McConnell, no problem. And you know why they're doing that to her? Because she's a woman. Nancy, you and I, babe, I agree with you 100%. This is a war on women. This is a war on women. Why do you always have trans women? Where are the trans men? Have you noticed it? Who are the famous trans men, right? There's a couple of actors. What was her name? There was not Juno. What was her name? Ellen Page. Okay, what happened? Nothing. Who else? Nothing. Who are the prominent, front row, box office, big time trans, I'm dead serious, trans males, right? A trans woman is a man who transitions to a woman. So a trans male is a woman who transitions to a man. Where are they? Well, they're not there. Does this not count? There was that Nashville shooting. Nobody's talking about that. That's over with. And this Teixeira today's Saturday. Nobody even gets that one. Nobody even gets the. Oh. I am a kindergarten teacher. And I know my class. And I know what they like. They're good on colors. They're good on sharing. They're good on, what's different than the other or things like that. But division, no. The majority of the American population today cannot make head or tails, hide or hair or tide or whatever of what's going on regarding Tashira. Nothing. No clue. None. Don't even bother. You got Glenn Greenwald. Forget it. How about your boy Matt Taibbi? They tore him apart. You're not going to be seeing Matt too much anymore. And I told you about that limited hangout. Barry Weiss was smart enough to realize, hey, this isn't working for me. Now let's talk about something which is the most important case of them all. And nobody's talking about this. And everybody who is in the world of podcasting or broadcasting should understand what the Dominion lawsuit case is about. But before we do this, let me tell you right now. Number one, mypillow.com, promo code Lionel. Do you know what is going on, what's happening regarding their world of slippers and toppers and MyPillow 2.0? It is unbelievable. While some stores and units and folks went out of business recently, MyPillow is doing gangbusters. So remember, mypillow.com, promo code Lionel. Just go and look. Only use promo code Lionel. Help us. They promote us, we promote them. It's that simple. The Dominion case is so huge, it's not even funny. Here we go. In 1964, there was a case called New York Times against Sullivan. The New York Times was sued because it merely published something. It was Alabama, it was out of Alabama. Anyway, but the point is, New York Times was just published something. It didn't say anything. It just published it. And they proved that before you, as a public figure, before you can sue for libel, or if you choose to sue for libel, you have to prove the deliberate statement of a statement of fact that hurts, that causes damages. It's defamation. It's a statement of fact that's not true. You're saying something is a fact. It's a fact. You got it? Okay. But if you were a public figure, and a public figure is somebody who is able to, either you're running for office, ran for office, you're a star, you're thrust into the limelight, you're able to both two things. Number one, you wanted the attention. Now you got it. And second of all, you're able to perhaps call a press conference in the old days and do something about it. Anyway, that's going to change. But the point is, you have to prove malice. If I'm just a regular Joe Schmo, it's easy. If I'm just some guy and I'm maligned, I'm defamed, I got to prove just negligence. You said this against me. But if I am a public figure, I have to prove malice. What's malice? Either a reckless disregard for the truth, or you knew what you were saying wasn't true. Okay. Now, here comes Fox News. Fox News puts on Rudy Giuliani, Sidney Powell, Donald Trump, and they say not only was the election of 2020 fixed, phony, whatever it is, that's different. But regarding Dominion, they said everything from I don't even remember, either they deliberately threw the election or they had servers in Venezuela. I don't know. But the point is, Dominion says, you defamed us. Fox News says, what do you mean we defamed you? You had these people on. Fox News says, CNN had those people on. Yeah, but CNN's different. What do you mean they're different? Well, CNN had on people saying the same thing. Sidney Powell, they kept saying, hell, I'll bet you CNN mentioned Sidney Powell more. Release the Kraken. Whatever happened to Sidney Powell? Who in the hell knows? Release the Kraken. That thing went off the rails so fast. Okay, so what happened? Dominion says, yeah, but CNN, they reported it, but you agreed with it. Well, so what? What if we agree with it? It's our opinion. Can't we have an opinion? Why do we have to say, yeah? When people were, this wouldn't be liable, but when people were being bounced off of everything regarding COVID and ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine and masks and everything, I mean, that was a different story. But let's assume that I think that company X puts out a product and that product causes cancer and kills people and was there as part of some weird kind of a eugenics program and nanotechnology to wipe out humanity. And I'm going full tilt. Okay? Let's see, I say this. Me. And maybe there's litigation or whatever it is. Now, CNN puts me on their show. And they have me and they say, what were you saying? I'm saying that company X puts out this product that causes cancer and da. Now CNN just promoted me. Should CNN be sued for libel or susceptible? They knew that what I was saying wasn't true. Nobody believed it. It's crazy, right? But they put me on. CNN says, no, wait. We're not broadcasting this. We're reporting on it. It's a news story. This quack who's saying these crazy things is the news story. We're reporting on the news story. This one thinks he saw Elvis at a Burger King in Toledo. This one thinks that there's some religious icon that's crying. This one, hears voices, whatever. We report these things. We don't agree with them. It's just news. News of the weird, news of the whatever. It's just news. Well, what's the point? Well, it goes a little bit different. There were some hosts, apparently on Fox, who really pushed this, who not only reported, but they had on Sidney Powell, like did CNN, but they were saying, yes, Sidney, we agree with you. Now, wait a minute. Opinion is guaranteed. Libel is a statement of fact. You made a factual statement. You said that this was this, not, I think that red M&Ms cause whatever. I think that putting a garlic clove under your arm will ward off hyenas. I think that there is or isn't a God. I think, in my opinion, that's protected speech. Why? Because it's a statement of fact that we're after. You said as a fact, you said this, not that you thought something. Okay, so what happens? Well, maybe Maria Bartiromo or maybe Lou Dobbs or somebody went a little bit beyond, yeah, I agree with that too. Yes, this happened. Okay, but now we got this one. In the old days, whenever you talked about this notion of malice, you had to kind of guess. How can you prove that you put this story on knowing it was false? Reckless disregard. Normally you would say, we put it on, come on. Okay. And a lot of these cases never went past this because the public figure couldn't prove malice. But now we have text messages. And when you get that message, when you get that order against spoliation, where you cannot destroy evidence, you cannot, what happens if all of a sudden you're at we've had cases like this, you're at a public place or something, and all of a sudden somebody's roughed up, and lo and behold, they go, what happened? Did you see that? Get rid of that tape. Well, you can't do that. You can get notices or whatever. Well, now, instead of videotape, you've got text messages. Because these geniuses on Fox News, the geniuses, oh yeah, Tucker and Ingram and Sean, they're taking it away. And they're taking it away. And I think, Trump's crazy. What, are you crazy? He's crazy. Why are we putting Trump on? We're putting Trump on because if we don't put Trump on, we're going to lose his audience. You mean to tell me we're putting on this crazy man Even though this is malice, and yes, because we don't want to lose his audience. Well, that's not right. Well, that's what rude. What does that mean? What does that mean? I don't know. So here's the story. What do you say? The judge in the Delaware case says, look, the facts are pretty much undisputed. You said this, right? Yes? Okay. What does the law say? And every podcaster, there are podcasters who have more viewers. Joe Rogan gets more people than anybody. What if Joe Rogan has on some guy and Joe Rogan says, hey, we're doing this, we're drinking, we're having fun. That's the beauty of this. And he brings on Joey Diaz or somebody. And Joey Diaz says something nuts. Not an opinion, but let's say, oh yeah. And what happens is you turn up the heat. You turn up the heat. You want to come back on the Joe Rogan show? Play it safe and they'll never have you back again. Within reason. I don't know, Joe. It's hard to say. I don't know. Who wants that guest? You've got kids today with the attention span of a gnat and they want fast. And I know people, and I am the most unconspiracy. I am constantly telling people, no, you don't have evidence of that. Could be. I'm kind of leaning in that direction, but short of it. The other day I was going crazy. I believe in UFOs. Well, I got to be honest with you. I think there's a lot of good evidence, but I need a little more. We really don't have I don't think we have enough. What? We don't have enough. What about the Tic Tac? I don't think that's enough to say, yep, there's intelligent life on different, but I don't even know what that is. I don't know what that is. I want to believe. And by the way, that's for me with religion, UFOs, whatever. Everybody who dies now, everybody who drops dead, guess what they did? Boom. Guess what? Up. I know what that is. No, you don't know what that is. No, you don't know what that is. No, you don't. And it works the opposite. People who say, I know why he died. Oh, I know why he died. No, it's the disease. No, it's the prevention. I got to be careful. People say, where are you getting this from? Where are you getting? You're just saying this. You just want this. Oh, no, I know it's true. I know it's true. You know it's true. I know it's true. How many times have you heard the CIA got this guy? The CIA. Who was responsible for JFK? The CIA. Why? Oh, because John F. Kennedy wrote this thing about the gold standard or the silver. And say, wait. What is the matter with you? That's not enough evidence. I don't care. I listen to so-and-so. I listen to people for, believe me, so little time. If I spend, do you know that unless Joe Rogan has the best stuff on physics, I love this. Eric Weinstein is my favorite because he's a snot. And it's beautiful. He hates everybody. And sometimes he'll say things where I don't even think he knows what he's talking about. He will say something for you. He'll say, well, do you believe that this is in any way indicative of the branch off of the ignorance bush? Do you think this is superpositional? Is this a type 5 error? Eric, I don't know what you're talking about. He doesn't know either. But it sounds great. Okay. Do you think you're going to go far? Not saying things that are... You've got to push this. And there's one guy I've seen before who sits around. He wears a hat. A lot of them wear hats. And they're in their room. And they have like a purple light. And they feel at home. And they talk like this. There's one guy who says he talks like this. And it's very, very processed. And the problems with this. And they love... I remember in the old days. Oh, talk radio. Should I wear these? No, don't wear the cans. No. Don't wear the cans. Why? We're not taking calls. Oh, yeah? Can I put these on? No, don't put those on. Why not? I don't want you to put them on. Why? I don't want you to. Why not? Okay, put them on. Can I put these on? Yeah, okay. I'll put them. Okay, I'll do this. Because they hear themselves. And they drop everything. And they start talking like an obscene phone call. Like I know where your kids are. I know what you did last summer. Look in your pocket. Don't go outside. Be afraid. Why are you talking like this? Some lady from... Hi, I'm from St. Bonaventure. We have a cookie sale. All right, Mrs. Wigington. Don't put... Can I put these headphones? No, please don't. No, we're just gonna put the, so I can talk about the cookies. That's what we're gonna do. We're talking about the cookies. Mrs. Wigington, why are you talking like that? I don't know why. I'm just talking like this. Have you never... Leave them off. Speak normally. All right. Defamation is going to blow up. I hear stuff all the time. And I'm thinking, you don't know what you're saying. You don't know what you're saying. There is absolutely... Science used to love... I had a friend of mine. He was a cancer researcher, and he couldn't give you a straight answer by anything. He spent his entire life. Can you say that cancer is caused environmentally? Can be. What about asbestos? Asbestos. Come on, that causes cancer, right? Well, there are some people who are exposed to the same asbestos, and they don't have it. Okay, so is it because they have a predisposition against cancer? Or because asbestos isn't carcinogenic? You can't. This is his whole thing. And I loved it because to say something was causative meant something. Not on YouTube, not on Rumble, not on whatever. No. Say whatever you want. Do you remember? Who remembers kids being brought off of ships through tunnels? Remember that one? I bet that honey was it under the 11th, was it under the West Side Highway or something? The Comfort's coming. And there's tunnels. Wait a minute, from what? West Side Highway? What are you talking about? And then there's tunnels. And they're shipping kids in furniture. Okay. How do you know that? Because look at this. Look. Did you ever listen to Madame Bovary? I'm just making this name up. No, I don't know who Madame Bovary. I've got this thing here. If you buy this chifforobe, it costs $20,000. There's a kid in there. What? There's a kid. I know this. How do you know this? Because it costs $20,000. Okay, I know this is IKEA furniture, and you're not going to pay $20,000. But where is... Can you follow up on this? I don't have to follow up on this. I know this for a fact. Oh, you do, huh? Yes. Bill Gates to some people is the embodiment of he is the most evil person who has ever walked. And I'm no Bill Gates fan. But can you tell me why? He's the number one farmer. Okay, well, what about it? Do you know what that means? No, I don't know what that means. What does that mean? He must have been Bill Gates was sticky. There was a reason. I saw something the other day. There was a report of a woman who wants to be the first test case for breast cancer vaccines. Wouldn't that be something? If it was safe and effective, who wouldn't want? So I just say, okay, fine. This is why I back off. I'm here in my little world. I don't know. I'm over here. I have this thing about causation. But let me tell you something. Dominion case. So if you say, okay, so what's your Fox do? Let's say I'm Rupert Murdoch. I say, okay, fine. What do you want me to do? Okay, Maria, do me a favor. We want you to start off with every show. When you have a guest on, say whether it's true or not. Well, how do I know it's true? I don't know. We just want you to say it. CNN has on Sidney Powell, but they laugh at her. So, yeah, but what if... there's no answer. So you're supposed to have contextual reportage. How do we do this? I have no idea. So what if I put somebody on who's making a claim that's libelous? Am I publishing the libel, or am I reporting on the person who's libeling? What am I supposed to do? I don't understand. I mean, what would you like me to do? How do I report on this? And in the course of this, if let's say I hear what they've said, there is a case, E. Jean Carroll. E. Jean Carroll sued Donald Trump for libel because Donald Trump says she was crazy and nothing ever happened and she's not his type and all this kind of stuff. Okay. If that's a story, if I have on Donald Trump, if Tucker Carlson says, President Trump, yeah, you're being sued right now by E. Jean Carroll. Oh yeah, she's crazy. Let's assume he said that. You're going to charge, wait a minute, is Tucker going to be hit with a count of defamation, or is he reporting on somebody who has been defamatory, allegedly? These are issues beyond the scope of Fox and Friends or Tater Tot on CNN or whoever these other people are. It's too much work, too much thinking, too much. Did you ever hear of them reading of the Higgs boson case? Oh, that was sheer joy to see these meatballs trying to explain the Higgs field to their crowd. Unbelievable. That's all I've got to say. It was unbelievable. All right, my friends. Next. You can say any time of the year, flu season is here. Do you know how many people have the flu? Always. The flu says, I don't care what temperature it is. I don't care about that. I mean, there are times when there's more of it, but there's always something. Now, here's the bottom line. Z-Stack is a very simple concept, and I want you to go look at it. Look at the link. Just go to the description section right there, and just look at it. I'm not crowbarring you. There are so many different immunodeficiency disorders. Not only that, poor diet, poor sleep, adverse reactions to medical treatments, what you're doing, there's no exercise, you plus the stress of your life. This is tough. So what's happening right now is Z-Stack is a wonderful version. You also have Z-Stack for kids. You have the gummy versions. And it basically is simply this. It is zinc, vitamin C, vitamin D, and plant-based nutrients, flavonoids, called like quercetin and others. That's it. It's simple. It's simple. I mean, there's no, I don't know how to tell you this. Take it. It's insurance. Take it and hope to, you should have been taking this for the past 20 years. You should have been eating right but nobody eats right. Well, you should have been exercising, but nobody. You should have been getting sleep, but nobody. No, there's no stress. How are we supposed to eliminate stress? I love when they say that. Maybe it's too much stress. Well, that's what life is. So what do? You hedge against it with Z-Stack. There's the link. Get it. Read it. It's perfect. You'll be glad you did. It's a no-brainer. Plus. That's it. No downside. No nothing. One a day. Boom. That's it. Z-Stack. And I mentioned this before to you. And this is the thing which kills me. They're talking again about Tashira, and they're talking about balloons, and they kind of sort of get around. They talk about electromagnetic pulses and EMPs, and they don't really explain it. They don't explain it. An EMP will destroy every electronics piece that you own. I mean, it's other than that. Let's see. What do you have that is connected or that is electronic? What would that be? Now, EMP Shield is a beautiful Western country, Midwest state, I should say, American. And the testing has undergone testing at the Keystone Compliance, which is a military certified facility, and listed by the Department of Homeland Security. And they've got devices that can protect not just your vehicle or home, but your generator, your solar system, ham radio, more ham radio operators than you have any idea. And I think they just never get out of style. And during very serious times, ham radio is what you want. RVs named it. Go and use the URL linked in the discussion section, and it's that simple. EMP Shield and Z-Stack. That's it. Now, I started in the business in 1988 officially. This was in a weekend talk radio. I've been at WABC, WOR, WFLA. I've been at the first internet radio station ever called IATA.com. I've been Air America. You name it, it's whatever it is. Television. And nobody ever sat down and said, okay, this is libel. This is actionable. This is newsworthy. This is the state of the law. Never. Never. They just assumed you knew it or hoped to God it didn't or whatever. This is going to be a pitfall that everybody, especially in the business, is going to know. And I'm telling you, there's one in particular. Oh, God, I know these. Oh, my God. There are people who... How they get away with it, I guess nobody cares or whatever it is. But just because you haven't been sued doesn't mean it's not actionable. And it's very difficult to show that there's been damages and all this kind of jazz and whatever it is. So what I'm saying right now is the Dominion case is so critical. A lot of people, like at CNN, are saying, oh, this is great because this will bring down Fox. It's not going to bring down Fox. There's going to be a settlement of some sort. And $1.6 billion, I don't think they're going to be able to justify that. But as far as having a case, oh, yeah, they absolutely. But the question is, what did Fox do that was wrong? What did Fox do? There is no distinction between fact and opinion, between commentary and the like. So that remains to be seen. Let me just tell you, focus on that, my dear friends. Pay attention to that drastically. Also, pay attention to the fact that you've got somebody saying, don't boycott Budweiser because Anheuser-Busch. I can't believe I saw that. I can't believe I saw that. The Republicans actually have one issue they all agree with, and somebody says, no, don't do that. Why? Dylan Mulvaney, no, please, that just some low level. Do you see where this low-level person lives in New York? Was it Central Park West or South or... Dear God. Try putting together a Dylan Mulvaney program or advertising commission or campaign without anybody knowing, including an ex-CIA Marine Iron Man Wunderkind who I had no idea. And as far as Tashira goes, follow me at Lionel Legal. I talk about that in great depth. And I make a parallel coming up with Jose Padilla, the enemy combatant, along with that other guy. Remember Lynn, the fellow they caught? In any event. All right, my friends. Also, make sure you go and make sure you sign up. I'm going to give you this link right now. This is Mrs. L's YouTube channel. It is superb. And I'm going to give you the link right now. Just a second. This is the link where, here we go, right here. And I want you to click this right here. All right, let me give this to you. This is Mrs. L's subscription. Just click there and do it. And follow her. Lynn's Warriors on YouTube. Lynn's Warriors at Twitter. And I'm Lionel Media on Twitter. All right, my friends, have a great and glorious day. It's 69 degrees today. Yesterday it was 90. And after having been in Florida my whole life, up until, how many years ago, that's nothing. Because there's no humidity. And I don't want to go into the... Then again, there's no humidity in an oven either. All right, my friends. See you there. Have a great and glorious day. Don't ever change. I mean that sincerely. See you tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad channel, 8 a.m. Eastern time. Remember, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Ta-ta.